The Innovation Summit is being held in Dublin on March 23-25. The schedule includes speeches of major central banks leaders. The keynote speakers are ECB President Christine Lagarde and Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey. Investors will be looking for clues for further changes in monetary policy of these central banks. No doubt, their remarks will trigger serious market moves on Forex. Apart from this high-profile event, the economic calendar reminds us about a series of macroeconomic data which is due in the two last days of the week. This data could be also catalysts for changes in market quotes on Forex. GfK Market Research Institute in Germany is due to present a survey with the forward-looking consumer climate index for April. The indicator is expected to continue an upward correction following a plunge to an 8-month low in February. Nevertheless, the reading will remain on the negative territory. Meanwhile, Europe has to deal with a third pandemic wave amid a slow pace of the mass vaccination. Such headwinds affect consumer and business sentiment. Hence, despite a slightly higher score, the market will find an excuse to carry on with the short positions on the single European currency. In the early New York session, traders will get to know a revised US GDP for the fourth quarter. According to the second estimate, the US economy expanded 4.1% in the final quarter last year. That was a bit better than the preliminary reading. Perhaps the revised score will also surpass the second estimate, though analysts are skeptical and do not project any upwards reversion. Experts take into account low consumer activity and pin hopes on momentum in the US economy, starting from this year as the mass vaccination was launched in 2021. Market participants will find the reason for optimism from a weekly update on the US unemployment claims. The US Labor Department will confirm a further decline in the number of continuing jobless claims in the week ended March 20. Besides, first-time claims for unemployment insurance also went down last week. Such information signals steady progress in the US labor market recovery. This encourages investors that the Federal Reserve could review its ultra-soft monetary policy with interest rates at near zero. On Friday, investors will find out fresh evidence of the pandemic's negative impact on the economy. The UK retail sales for February are on investors' radars. In January, British retailers suffered the worst slump in sales since May 2020. This happened as the authorities tightened restrictions on businesses due to the coronavirus resurgence. Retail sales could revive in February onwards. However, an annual rate could have been trapped deeply on the negative territory. As the pound sterling is overbought, the news about a minor climb in retail sales, at least month on month, could provide the British pound with a short-term support. Later on Friday, a survey from the United States will shed light on trends in consumer activity in the country, where consumer spending accounts for almost 2/3 of GDP. So, don't miss a report on personal spending for February. The forecast is pessimistic. Traders are braced for a 0.8% drop from January. Personal spending increased sharply in January amid extra relief payments and higher unemployment benefits. The data for February will remind investors that the US economy still relies heavily on the government financial aid. You are watching Forex Trader Calendar on InstaForex TV channel. With me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable deals and have a nice weekend.